Yo, what's going on guys, it's Crypto here, and today we're going to be doing a Maliwan Takedown challenge run. Now, you gotta give credit where credit is due, and the torture that I went through in this video was inspired by some of these alphas on the screen right now. I'll leave the links to their channels in the description, and I highly recommend you check them out. They're all very awesome people. But without further ado, today we're going to be answering the question not even Jesus or Andy Pitchford had the answer to. Can you beat the Maliwan Takedown using only the big suck? The rules were simple. No grenades could be thrown, however I can use them as anointment slots. Shields and artifacts are allowed. Action skills are allowed. And the only gun I could use was the big suck. Boys and girls, get ready because this is going to be one hell of a ride. Let's begin. Before I started the challenge, I had to get the big suck itself. So I went to Pandora, had a great conversation with Chef Frank, and then he kindly told me where I can find it. It was that easy. I picked it up and then Frank told me to get sucking. Little does he know he just foreshadowed the future. So my first run was attempted on Mayhem 10 True Takedown, and yeah, as you can imagine, things didn't go to plan. I was doing little to no damage to my enemies and then I got burnt alive and pounded by a ratch. For attempt number 2 we switched back to Mayhem 4, and what better modifier to use for the occasion than Big Kick Energy. This time we were actually doing damage and I could sense the fear in my enemies. Everything was going fine until I ran out of ammo. Fear not, I brought a cutpurse along with me. What does this mean? Well, it means that if I punch an enemy I get ammo back, so as I was penetrating the Kraken's dog, he came outside and caught us. He looked very fierce and I knew it was going to be game over for me. Psych! Little by little I was taking his health down, and then without failure I put the little down and made him wish he stayed in Sea of Thieves. I finally made it to the Valkyrie Squad and my damage output was insane. So insane that I considered myself being a better player than the Lord himself, Moxie. I proceeded to unload Hilda's shield, but then his friend hit me with the Uno reverse card, leaving both my shield and health gone. It was time for attempt number 3, and like a wise man once said, I had a plan. I replaced Sentinel with the clone and specced into old you. Was this a good idea? No! After killing all the K-pop stands, I finally made my way back to the wannabe Bionicles, and this time, I was ready to show no mercy. Dude, can I just point out how that other Valkyrie just saved his friend's life? Like, look at that shit! I didn't know we're playing Mr. President Borderlands edition. So for this run I decided to swap to the Transformer, and it helped dramatically. With 1, 2 and 3 Valkyries down we were only halfway done, and like Lorelei said,
those were advanced mechs, but we're after something bigger.
And that something was the goddamn bridge, man. Holy shit, this place was a nightmare. With death after death after death after death, I started thinking this challenge was impossible. So I decided to take a 20-minute break, I drank some coke and listened to my favourite song. The John Cena theme song. And out of nowhere, John became visible and was stood right behind me. He whispered into my ear, "Never give up, your time is now." So with the small amount of hope and motivation I had left, I switched to Sentinel and I put on my cryo old god, and ladies and gentlemen, here's how the run went.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't.
And just like that, after a whole 45 minutes, the gates of hell finally opened, and if you saw the expression on my face, you'd consider casting me in the next Joker movie. Anyway, I was on my way to destroy Wotan, and speaking of Wotan, here's a highlight of how that went. So on my first Wotan run, we went with a more stealthy approach. So long story short, our damage was terrible, but I decided to keep going, and surprisingly, this might have been one of my best runs. What was my tactic? Jumping from platform to platform while I'm shooting Wotan when I'm in the air. We'll call it the Spider-Man tactic. We had a few close calls here and there, but everything was going fine until I accidentally Mario jumped inside a Wotan and got suffocated. It was attempt number 4, and I think I pulled one of the biggest Maliwan Takedown clutches of all time. But yeah, nothing really happened after that, I just died again. Yeah. Now this run was great. I managed to get Wotan into his double shield phase, and at this point I was pretending he was Ava. Why? Because she has such a punchable face which you can't resist from punching. I'm sorry Ava, I was being held hostage, they told me to say it, we all know you're the best character. We had a few more close calls, but guess what? We died again. Now at this point I was getting tired, this was getting boring and repetitive, and I just wasn't having fun. So what did Crypto do? Did he give up? Did he carry on playing? Did he finally kill Wotan? Well, you can try to pick the right answer. And the answer is... we turned off True Takedown! So in this run we took down Wotan's upper half with ease, and I guess you can say we left him with no head.
So no head?
And then I did the impossible. No one thought it could be done. I managed to take down Wotan using only the Big Succ.
Finish him!
And we did it! But wait. Of course the mission bugged out. So what did I do next? Did I restart the takedown? Pfft, no. So, can you beat the Maliwan Takedown using only the Big Succ? I guess so. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, because this made me lose my sanity by just a tiny bit. And if this video does well, I'll consider doing the same thing for the Guardian Takedown. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.